This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Greg Morton. It is Sunday, September 4th, 2022. This is the weekend video update for growth stock investors, focusing on the Canslim methodology from Bill O'Neill, brought to you by the Greenville Eastside IBD Meetup Group and the Stockyard Meetup Group. As always, educational purposes only. Not recommending any stocks or securities to buy or sell. All investing has substantial risk of big loss, so we want to learn first and only then invest. So today, let's look at the Impactor like we normally do. Let's talk about what do we see this past week. Was it constructive or destructive? And the hint, whacked again. Last weekend I had whacked, now we got again in there. We'll do current market discussion as part of sort of number 2, those go together, and our Stockyard Educational Monthly Meeting, past and present. I'll mention those briefly. So first of all, it is Labor Day weekend, so happy Labor Day. I hope yours looks like this, but to be quite honest, for growth stock investors, it's sort of more like, yeah, right, wrong kind of labor, not what we want. Need to get these bears out of here. And it may take some more time, no way to predict. It is just not pleasant at all right now. So Impactor, most important letter in Canslim. So if we look at that, O'Neill says we look at 3 things. We want to diagnose, we want to interpret, we do not want to predict. So we're going to look at actions of leading stocks. I talked last weekend about 3 leaders. This weekend I'm calling them the 3 musketeers, but it looks like maybe they're going to be just a dynamic duo of Batman and Robin if things continue. Talk about actions of stocks owned. Those are getting thinned out fast, hardly anything left in the group teaching portfolio. And then we'll look at the market pulse, distribution day count, price and volume on the indexes, and that is all getting quite ugly also, or is quite ugly. So 3 musketeers, true market leaders. I think everybody agrees right now the 3 showing the most strength have been Enphase, Celsius, and Shockwave Medical. So we have solar, retail, and medical represented by those 3. And as I said earlier, one of those cracked a bit this last week. So let's hop out of here and go over to MarketSmith and just look at things. Oops, go to NASDAQ first. So here's the NASDAQ, just cascading down, have lost all 4 moving average lines back below all of those. 10s crossed over the 21. Both those are moving down, looks like to cross over the 50 again. We're back down in the 28% off the high for the overall bear market. Just an ugly week. And let's go to the weekly chart. So down 4.21% on the week. You can see just 3 weeks just diving. Those look like arrows pointing down. Low range closes. The only saving grace is lower volume, but we see that during the summer. This is just ugly selling. And I also have changed my view a little bit on the overall market. I did think we had 1 leg down, and I thought this was the 2nd leg down, and then we had a 3rd leg down. But now there's enough evidence where I read it as 1st leg down, and then this is all just the 2nd leg down, and we're starting potentially, no way to predict, but we would be the 3rd leg down if this one comes down and undercuts. And if you go back and look at the financial crisis bear, which ended in 2009, this 3rd leg was actually, and that bear market was 25% down, yet it barely undercut the low. It was only like 30 points on the NASDAQ of leg 2. If this one came all the way back down to this level, that's only about 20% off this peak here. So, if it came down a little further, 25% or something, you can see, let's see where this one was. Yeah, so the last leg was down there at 35% off the high. So if we came down under that, we're going to be 37, 40%, maybe more. If it keeps going off the high, that'd be a pretty serious bear market. Up here, we're about 9 months off the peak now, so we're into the average length of a bear market. So we'll just keep watching and studying. S&P 500 equally bad, has lost all the moving average lines. 200 still going down. Everything's moving in lockstep, going the wrong direction. NYSE, same thing, lost all 4 moving average lines, just like that. Dow, same thing. Small caps, same thing. Just nothing is holding up. NASDAQ was down. Let's see what the 50 was down this week. So NASDAQ was down over 4%. Oh yeah, IBD 50 down 6.36% for the week. So normal rule, growth stocks get hit worse when we're coming down. So just nothing attractive there. Look at the coloring book. We're going to see more ugliness. You know, all the MMTS factors have gone to red. Distributions piling up. We have 5, 5, and 6 on the 3 indexes. We have clustering on both the S&P 500 and the Dow. That's at least 4 distribution days in the 8-day trading window. That's like distribution on steroids. We've had, 1, 2, 3. We had 6 selling days in a row. Those aren't all distribution. Only 3 of them were distribution officially, but the other ones were bad enough I counted them as selling days. In the 25-day window, I only have 4 green days, 4 buying days, and 13 selling days. So that's really lopsided again. The window of opportunities closed. New highs are exceeding new lows on the NASDAQ. I mean, new lows are exceeding new highs on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. And we had just some heavy selling days. I kind of outlined those in bold red, just my personal judgment call. So, you know, this all started, where was it? Or got really bad with the Jackson Hole speech right there on that Friday. And it's just been cascading down since then. So nothing pleasant there. If we go back over here, it's slammed the group teaching portfolio, terrible week, knocked us out of everything except TAN, partial position in ANET, which is underwater, so probably should have exited that. Lithium still in there, and then a short position via puts, which is actually doing pretty good compared to what's left. So down 14.6% for the year, so just not good, not down as much as the NASDAQ, but not profitable. Very, very tough environment this year. And let's see. Let's go back over here. Coloring book. Yep, we covered all that. So we did that. Current market notes. Yeah, that speech by Powell was just a hand grenade. So MMTS, they're all red. I showed you that. Window of opportunities closed. IBD somehow is still at just uptrend under pressure. We each make our own decision. You know, the IBD, even if it's yellow, it's really rapidly flashing yellow caution lights. Weekend routine remains critical. Honoring your written sell rules remains critical. If, and this is a bigger if this weekend, if even buying anything, got to stick to Canslim stock rules and entry points, but it's really fine. I think the current market signs are pretty clearly red. Probably need to just stay off the buy button. And let's see how bad this is going to get. So charts, jump back in MarketSmith, only had a couple, really the sort of the 3 musketeers. So here were the 3 that's holding up. Let's look at in phase first. So this is really nice. Is it a flat base yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not showing up as one. Hold on, let me look. Oh, maybe because of the height or something. But that's really tight, constructive action in a market that's cascading down. So that one looks really nice. Shockwave came off 4% this week, so just the same as the index, so it didn't get hit worse. Sort of holding up. Celsius is the one. Go to the daily charts. You can see it, you know, it got hit worse when we look at the daily charts, but again, it still is holding its recent lows. And then I put TAN in here just for comparison. Obviously, it's not holding up as well as in phase. This is the solar ETF. So in phase looks better there. So not too many charts to review, actually. Just a reminder, there was a recent National IBD meetup group. I'll put the link down below again. Here was the schedule. I kind of did an overview and introduction to Canslim, and then just had really good presentations. That whole Amy Smith, Arusha, Lee Tanner, John Floyd, that's well worth watching. So I'll put the link to that recording underneath this on YouTube. Our monthly meetings, our next meeting at the Stockyard, the big educational meeting, is Tuesday, September 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can register at the Stockyard Meetup site. Tuition for the monthly meetings, $12. That includes live attendance. If you can't attend, you don't have to. And then everybody that signs up and pays the tuition gets a recording, slide deck, and I send links to webinars, articles, anything that comes up during the meeting. If you register for the first time, I send you a courtesy copy of the August meeting and all the links in this situation. So here's what we covered in August. Spent a lot of time looking at some overall Canslim trading principles and nuggets from IBD Live podcast, different sources. And then we applied those, came back and looked at ants, which was discussed recently, Diane Canslim. We looked at some stocks where Fidelity Contra Fund was stomping on the gas pedal, looked at the lithium plays, talked about something new, writing a battle plan for the week, and we did stock list reviews. And we went back, looked at the EV space. IPO market still pretty much dead as a doornail, but we did go back and look at some in the due diligence phase and kind of did a deep dive on the OwnCloud running shoe company. So all that's available. Prior meetings can be ordered. If you don't have a set of written sell rules, I spent 3 months teaching that. That's very detailed and would help you do that. It's very important that you have those. And did complete weekend routine in September 2021, which flowed over a little bit into October. So that's the stuff we've covered. Here's the meetup sites, Greenville Eastside IBD meetup and the Stockyard meetup sites. You can email me if you have questions or if you want to order those prior webinars. I'll send you the list, complete list and order instructions. You can follow me on Twitter. And of course, you're on the Stockyard YouTube page. So please like and subscribe while you're there. And there's some other educational videos you can type there if you want to know about the 8-week hold rule, which really isn't even a rule, it's an exception to a rule. I did a detailed teaching video on that, and also one that's applicable now on the difference between a bottom base, which is not buyable, and a bottoming base, which can be buyable within Canslim. So that's it. Hope you guys have a great Labor Day weekend in the grill sense and not in the having a baby sense. And I'm out of here. See you next weekend.